All right, come on in now. We should be good. We should be good. All right, Jeff, I'm good. All right, thank you, man. You would think as long as I've been doing this, I should be able to master that, but it's one little step that you have to take right before you go live, and you have to choose microphones. And sometimes when I have my earbud, that will affect things. All right. So good morning. Good morning. Jeff Smith, Gordon Reed, Josh Douglas, JL. Man, what's good? What's good? Glad to be back myself, man. Y'all hit the like as y'all come in. Glad to have you back, Jack McLean. Hit the like as y'all come in, man. I got some game for you, boy. Look, we've been through some things, some challenges with my grandmother. You say this insurance, man. And I just want to share that with you guys because that's always one of the biggest, um, issues that I get questions about. Uh-oh. I got I got it on my iPad. Let me get that off of there. All right. And so I thought I'd give some game in a lesson organized way first, and then I'm gonna take questions and we'll catch up. All right. What's up, Sneaker Boy? Good to see you too, man. What's good? What's good? All right. We got 15 of y'all come in. All right. We get to 20 and we'll get started. McLean say insurance is kicking my butt, especially workman's comp. I can give you some game on that too, on how I tried to navigate that particular issue with the workers' comp. All right. Well, we got 15 people, 9 likes. Let's get the likes up a little more. All right. Look like okay. All right. Sneaker Boy said he couldn't hear me, but I think that's on his end. You guys will hear me. What's up, Ken? Ken, I told you I'd be back, man. We've been through a few things, getting some things done, but we're here now. We're back. Ready to get this thing started. I'm at my church this morning. We got a little cleanup with the men here at about 10:15. So I got about 20, 30 minutes to spend with you guys. I did not want to miss it. I did not want to miss it. I said I'm gonna have to just do the live from the church. All right. Yeah, sneaker boy, and that's good. And after I get through with this, I want you to share, what's happening good for you on insurance, because I got some good news too, right? All right. So I want to teach a little bit this morning, talking about, because I think the thing that happens a lot of time is, and when we get ready to get the insurance, one thing I think we can get stuck in and that we have to be careful about, and then what did I want to talk about today? Cheap coverage, costly consequences. Cheap coverage, costly consequences. Sometimes as dump truckers, I know I hear it all the time, and even I thought that way, and also think that way to some extent even now, that I want the cheapest insurance, right? But don't sacrifice the coverage for the price. Oh, that's game right there. Don't sacrifice the coverages for the price. All right. Here's what every dump trucker must know, right? Every dump trucker wants cheap insurance until the day they actually need it. And by then, cheap becomes very expensive. All right. So here's the problem. Dump truck operators, let me put this over here. I can see it a little better. Dump truck operators often chase the lowest price without understanding the hidden dangers that can destroy their business, right? So while we search for cheaper, let's make sure we understand a few things, okay? All right. Because I want to give us three things that are some insights on something that'll help us to avoid the traps of low cost insurance, and but at the same time protecting our businesses, right? Because you don't want to have a situation happen to where because you didn't have enough coverage and something happens and it ends up sinking your business, right? All right. So point number one, the danger. Here it is. Somebody posted in the chat. The danger of underestimating your risk. Matter of fact, I can post it. The danger of underestimating your risk. The danger of underestimating your risk. All right. Exactly. D. Williams. That's it, brother. All right. So let's start with the first and biggest mistake, underestimating your actual risk, right? So number one, the hidden hazards on every oh, you got some hidden hazards on every haul that you make. All right, we operate with these dump truck mans on high risk sites, these construction sites, a lot of moving parts, different stuff going on. And what'll happen is, if you're not careful, cheap policies often exclude the situation of that you will find yourself in daily. Right? There are certain coverages that they won't cover for that might happen to you on a job site. So look at those exclusions. There's always an exclusions section on an insurance policy. Understand what those exclusions are. All right. When the accident happens on excluding ground, you're uncovered. If there's an exclusion in that policy, they're not going to cover that particular thing, right? And you're left to do that. Let me tell you what happened to me one time several years ago. I had a guy that had a couple accidents, and then they say you got to let him go because we're not going to cover him anymore. They send me a form to exclude him as a driver. And so I said, okay, no problem. And about a year later, the guy wanted to come back and I wanted to hire him. I figured, it'd been a year. Guess what? I forgot that I had signed a paper that guy was excluded. Man, after about 3 or 4 months, that guy, he had begun to get sleep apnea and that kind of thing. He fell asleep one day and hit a gas truck. Thank God it didn't explode. But let me tell you how God covered that thing, man. The owner of it, nobody got hurt. The driver didn't get hurt. He just said, look, man, just fix our truck and we'll be good. I said, no problem. And that cost me $7,000 out of pocket because I had excluded that driver, just as an example of how exclusions can bite you if you're not careful. All right. So understand the hidden hazards on jobs and make sure that the things and places that you're going to be able to be working, it's going to be covered, especially like plants and things of that nature, stuff like that. All right. So be careful of the bare minimum trap. State minimums, one rollover or spill can exceed your limit instantly. If a truck turns over, something like that. All right. As I just explained in my situation, the owner becomes liable, right? All right. And watch this. Big claims don't care nothing about your budget, right? So if you ain't got proper limits, lawsuits can shut the business down. So in other words, at the end of the day, if you don't understand, if you underestimate your risk, cheap policies can lead to bankruptcy, right? So there's a danger in underestimating your risk. You got to know make sure that your coverage uh exceeds the risk or at least covers the risk. That makes sense, y'all? If that makes sense, give me a 100 in the chat if that makes sense. All right. So as a point, uh uh the danger isn't the cost, it's the exposure you don't see coming. The danger isn't the cost, it's the exposure you don't see coming. So guys, make sure while we see cheaper, make sure we still are covering anything that can happen. Right. All right. Point number two. Point number two. The danger of misinterpreting policy language. Man, look, they got all this doggone language in here that we lay people typically don't understand because that's not the business that we're in, right? So we don't be understanding uh, that kind of language and stuff that they're having. D Williams, I'm definitely coming to you when I finish this. All right, let's get the likes up. We got 17 people on. Let's see, can we get 17 likes? All right. The danger of misinterpreting policy language. Number one. So let's talk about something most of us skip: the actual understanding of the policy. Y'all know what we do. All we care about when we go to that renewal Jack Peak, Ken Etheridge, is okay. For me, I need a million. Am I covered in liability for a million? And we typically do not read through that little thick thing that comes in the mail about a week later. We don't take time to look through that thing, because I just got mine last week, and see what all the ins and outs to the best of our ability, and then have follow-up questions to the agent and say, hey, what does this mean? What does that mean? Right? Email them and stuff. Like, we don't do that typically. All right, so watch this. Again, exclusions can erase your coverage. Some policies can have off-road exclusions, job site exclusions, meaning they don't want you on, they're not gonna cover you go on certain job sites. Some policies can have material, watch this, Jack, material exclusions, which means that you ain't supposed to be hauling certain things, or they're not gonna cover certain things. All right, so all of that results in what? Denying your claim if something happens, right? So exclusions can erase your coverage. Again, check out the exclusions. Right now, watch this. Named driver only restrictions. Remember, I just talked to you guys about what happened with me, and then I just renewed. I had to name all of the drivers that were going to be on the policy. Cheap insurers do this to cut costs. If anyone else drives even for 5 minutes, you're uncovered. Y'all do know that, right? And watch this. Don't fool yourself that some guys put people out here that are not covered. They do it every day. I've seen guys here do it. Not on the insurance. I even had a couple of guys put guys on their trucks with suspended license. Can I go deeper? I've seen guys put guys on their truck with no license, but they just know how to drive a truck. All right. And so when we know, watch this. Let me give y'all some game right here. I actually tell my guys that the guys that are suspects, some of these guys out here that are running shady business like that and not putting these guys on their trucks, stay clear of them guys. I tell them, look, park my truck over from somewhere. Don't get behind the joker. Don't get in front of the joker, because we know he ain't got no license. Something happens and he hits you, then his insurance ain't gonna want to cover. Right, then you got to try to sue this joker, and if he ain't got it, I'm still end up fixing my own truck. Right, so when we know somebody else is suspect as relates to the driver not having a license or suspended, because we know, we all in the same general area around here, it's gonna be talk. People know, right? I tell my guys, stay clear, stand clear, get from around that joker, because I don't want him to take a chance of hitting my truck. Now watch this. Here goes another nugget. Here goes another nugget that you guys might not have thought about. If the license plate is expired, what are the chances that that owner operator got insurance? I'm gonna sit back and I'll wait. I'm gonna let y'all think about that. I'm gonna ask it again. If the license plate is expired, what are the chances that guy has insurance? If you're looking at his license plate and the little sticker on the license plate that you have to get every year that renews your plate, you do know you can't renew a plate without insurance, right? Talk Jones, right? You do know you can't renew a plate without insurance, right? So if that license plate sticker is expired, I ain't talking about 1 year, because he might just be running late. But if it's 2025 and a guy still got a 23 sticker on his license plate, do you think he got insurance? I tell my guys, stand clear. Do not run behind him, and don't run in front of him. Right? Stand clear of them guys. Okay. All right. All right. Just a little extra added game right there. All right. So named driver. Make sure you got all your drivers on your policy, and then misclassifications that come back to bite. Dump truck classified as general commercial, cheaper premium but invalid coverage. Insurer can refuse to pay after an accident, right? So we got to make sure we interpret the policy. We had a situation a couple of years ago, Ken Etheridge, where one of the guys just all of a sudden, we all paying 1,100, 1,200 a month. This guy was paying 300 or 400. Now we like, man, who you with? And he told us, and he gave us information to call her. And we was like, hey, what's going on? Guess what? We found out, I don't know if it was intentional or not, because some of these agents are do stuff just to get your business. But they had rated his truck. They didn't rate it as a 67,000 pound. Now that's Louisiana. They didn't rate it as a 67,000 pound triaxle. They rated it almost like it was a pickup truck, 10,000 pounds or something like that. That's why he got the cheap policy. Now, whether they did it intentionally, we don't know. They did come back 3-4 months later and correct it. But, sometimes these are cheap. In other words, what's the title of this video? Cheap insurance can be costly. So be careful. All right. All right. All right. So who else we got? Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, Wigginson. Yeah, Jesse. I got you. All right. Fine print isn't just paperwork, it's the difference between being protected and being unprotected. So read the fine print. Read the fine print. All right. I'm on my last point. Point number three. Point three, the danger of choosing savings over sustainability. I got that right. ITY. Okay. All right. All right. Last point. Finally, you must think long term, not just month to month. Yeah, we all want to save, guys, but be careful that we don't sacrifice some things in the process, right? Cheap today, expensive tomorrow. Frequent rate spikes, sudden cancellations, slow or unresponsive claim responders, right? Sometimes these cheaper, real cheap places, sloppy support service. Next thing you know, they got you in, but 3 months they're raising the rate. So that's a question that you should always ask when you renew or when you get insurance: is the rate going to change, or this is my rate throughout the policy term, right? Um, and then I've had people keep me for a year and then don't want to renew, that kind of thing, right? I lost contracts because of weak coverage, right? Here it is. Watch this, Ken. Big jobs require strong limits, right? We still have some guys running around here with 100,000. I know y'all might not believe that, but we still got some guys running around with 100,000. We still got guys running around here with 300,000. I never forget. I started off with 100,000, and I went to go get my business incorporated, and the lawyer told me, said, "Man, you got to raise your insurance." I said, "What you mean?" He said, "You need at least $1 million." He said, "You get the million, you ain't got to worry about if anything happened, anything superseding that will cause you any problems personally." And so I've always carried $1 million. Okay. Big job, but here go. Watch this. The big job. You want to do big business and big boss business, you're gonna have to have that $1 million, pretty much. I don't know how it is in other states. Ken, Jack, some of you guys that go and running in other states, let me know. Are most of the insurance companies, I'm sorry, most of the contractors requiring $1 million or 500,000? We still got something here that'll let you go with 500,000. 500,000 is not bad. I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but with 11 trucks, $1 million makes me sleep a whole lot better. Give me a 100 if you understand that. Give me a 100 if you have understand that. Shaquin say, "Man, we have 2 million." Oh my goodness. Okay. All right. All right. I like that. Okay. Big jobs require strong limits. Brokers, quarries, and general contractors check your sticker of insurance. You know that. Cheap policies disqualify you before you even start, right? They look at your insurance, you're not going to be able to even get that done. I'm gonna tell you some things I went through with my last renewal here. All right, weak insurance hurts your scaling, your ability to scale up, right? It's harder to add trucks with cheap insurance, harder to add good drivers with cheap insurance, harder to secure steady work with cheap insurance. So watch this. This insurance piece, y'all, can stop you from growing, right? It's a very significant thing. All right. So you stop before you can even start. So don't let your insurance hold you back, but instead it should position you to grow. Watch this, guys. Because I've got the insurance, Ken Etheridge, it has literally separated me from the pack of most guys, right? We only really have top tiers for a few guys that are in that category because with me because of insurance. And some guys are eliminated because of insurance, y'all. Literally. So your insurance positions you to grow. So finally, brothers, summarize this teaching, inexpensive insurance feels good, but it's time until it's time to file a claim. The goal isn't to get the cheapest policy, it's to get the right policy that keeps you on the road, protects your business, and opens the door to bigger contracts at a cost-effective rate, right? I'm not saying it don't factor in, but don't just look at cheap and that's it, right? Call to action. If you want to help find the right coverage or want to learn how to secure consistent dump truck work, obviously, we got resources. Thank you for tuning in to this live, right? All right. So that's the teaching for now. All right. Let me go back. I want to answer some of y'all's questions. Certainly, D. Williams, I see your post. Let me go back up. Let's hit the likes, guys. Let's see, can we get the likes up to 25? Claims say insurance kicking his butt. Workman's comp. Let me see. Workman's comp. Now here's the issue I had with workman's comp. I don't know if any of y'all guys had this issue. So one of the company, my main company, wants me to be on the policy. Typically, the driver can be excluded. I've never, matter of fact, they are the only company that wants you to be included as the driver, even though I don't drive like talking about, even though I normally be excluded, right? Well, with me on the policy, jumps my policy up at least another $700-800. And that's money that could be saved. I'm talking about a month, y'all, that could be saved. So what I was doing was I would put, watch this, y'all. I would put myself on there at renewal, send the certificate over, and then I would pull myself off. Jones, why did you do that? Because at the end of the day, I'm not going to sue myself. If I was to get hurt on the truck, I'm not gonna go and file no claim on my workman's comp. Why should I do that? Me being the owner, I'm not gonna do that. So I would take myself off at the renewal, which would reduce my workman's comp. So that might be a little loophole that you can work with that, y'all. All right, so that's what handles the workman's comp. Okay, that's something that I did to deal with that. All right. All right, Sneaker Boy says he's blessed in the insurance department. Sneaker Boy, enlighten us a little bit on your insurance. All right, and watch this, y'all. Guy, I am in the terriblest, if that's a word, terriblest state for insurance. Our insurance market here is horrible. Life insurance is okay, but homeowners, because of hurricanes and car insurance, commercial insurance, it's ridiculous in Louisiana. It's gotten a little better this year with some reform that they made, but it's terrible. All right, yeah, D Williams. So yes, you gotta, with these GCs, you gotta have all of this coverage and endorsements. Watch this. I just renewed with my GC, my main one, and Doc, I had to have an endorsement of additional insured, and I had to have a waiver of subrogation. If you understand what that means, let me know in the chat. And watch this, guys. It wasn't enough for the insurance agent to put it on the certificate. They want the actual endorsement sent to them where they can see it, where it has been added, which lets me know there have been some crookedness going on in the past, whereby maybe some of these agents or crooked agents or pretending agents didn't actually have an endorsement. So it was a headache. I'll explain that to a video coming up this week. Jeff Smith said, y'all use Shamrock. Okay. D Williams, 3 trucks is 3,600 a mean, so 1,200 a month. D Williams, is that new trucks? Is that 2025, 26 trucks, or are these used trucks? What year model of the trucks for that 1,200 per truck price? Jack said, how many times have I had a drive be denied to be covered? That's probably happened. Matter of fact, I just had one. He's young though. It was because of he was a youngster. I think he's like 21, and he only just had his license a year. So, matter of fact, I've had a few, Jack, but it was because either they only had their license a year. My company wants you to have license 2 years, and you can't be no 18, 19 years old or 21 years old, right? They want you to have a few years experience. So I've had a few guys that they didn't want to cover. Yes, sir, guys. Don't even have medical card. That's right. You're right about that. Or they go to these clinics that gives it to them for a little money under the table. All right, Chris Carey, you back hearing me now? I should be good. That's got to be on your end, brother. Uninsured modes, gotcha. You also can't renew place without paying heavy. You say exactly. Jay Wigginson, Jesse. Okay, you got with Jesse. Okay. All right, appreciate you, Gordon. Kenny said, yeah, I got 2 million from what I hear, Jack. Okay, for the big job, 1 million safer. I like the 1 million. They want 2 to 3 mil with Sneaker Boy at. Wow. They ain't playing around. All right, Chris Carey wants to know who would recommend a good insurance company. Yeah, I'll put insurance companies in the chat for Chris Carey. Yep, check these companies out. Make sure that they're A+ rated companies and not just some fly by nights, man. Yeah, D Williams. Yeah, based off your payroll. There are some companies, D Williams, that will just give you um well, it's flexible, right? Workman's comp based off the payroll. So you still got to have an estimated amount, right? And obviously, if you go over that, you have to end up paying, make up the difference at the end of the year. If you go under that, then they have to refund you a check at the end of the year. Sneaker boy, 2,800 a year, or you mean 28,000 a year? Jeff say 20. No, Jeff, I promise you, he ain't paying 2,800 a year for one truck. Out of sight. What's good? All right. Yes, CEO. I checked to make sure they're covering my tracks or rated at the right weight. Okay. All right. Good morning, fam. What's up, AD Taylor? How much are you paying a month for workman's comp, and do you normally get a return? Yeah, good question. Out of sight. I think I'm paying 3,000 a month, and I have been getting a return the last couple of years, $6,000, $7,000. So yeah. I don't know how it'll come out this year because I've added. I don't know if I adjusted my payroll or not. So it's gonna be kind of nip and tuck this year. But yeah, I have been getting a return, refund rather. All right, Sneaker Boy say 20,000. Gotcha. Kenny, I'm shopping all of my coverage in the spring. I'm paying just over 5,000 per month for auto, GL, and workman's comp. Okay. Okay, yeah. Shop that, Ken. And here's a rule of thumb. About to give y'all some game right here. Some of these agents play games and wait till a week or so before renewal, act like they're shopping for you for another company, when in actuality, they already know who they want to steer you to because they're going to get a big commission. I've had a guy in the past, a lady in the past, do it to me with Progressive. They wanted to steer me with Progressive. And every time at renewal, here they're telling me about, oh man, I tried this, but they're more than Progressive. I tried these people more. Then I was like, okay, well, I guess I got to go to Progressive. So I learned the game. It's a game some of them play. Don't, not all of them, but it could be with Progressive or it could be with another insurance. Because sometimes the agent is the crook because they're trying to steer you towards a certain company because they're going to get a good commission if you stay with that same company as soon as you renew. So here's a rule of thumb. Start looking for insurance company at least a month out. A month out, because most of them it take them anywhere from a week or so to get you for them to get you a good quote. It takes about a week and a half. Sometimes I've seen it take. So start about a month out to give yourself a lot of flexibility. Okay, McLean. All right, I like that. Okay, 6,400 a year divided by 12. What that is? 500 a month. By roughly 500 some a month. Gotcha. Tyler Smith, Mr. Beginnings, is just an insurance. Yeah, we've been talking about insurance, Tyler, but you're welcome to ask any question. Erie Insurance is one of the best. Progressive don't carry umbrellas. Okay, Erie. Okay, where's is Erie a nationwide company, D. Williams, or that's or that's regional, or that's for your state, small company? Tell us about Erie. What's up, Sky Bird? Talking about this dog on my grandmother say insurance. All right. So what else did I want to talk? Because I want to put some of this in videos this week about this insurance. All right, Sneaker Ball said that's who I have. Erie. Oh man, look. Somebody put in the chat who is Erie. Then I'll save them as somebody I may look at next time. Because I thought I did fairly well. They're nationwide. Okay, gotcha, D Williams. Okay. All right. So I'll tell y'all this. Was 10 o'clock? Yeah. All right. Well, tell you what, anybody got any questions, go ahead and ask your questions because my members are starting to show up here at the church. We got a little work to do. I want them to be out there working. I'm not working with them. Go ahead and ask your questions if you got some questions. And here's what I'm going to say happened to me. And I'm going to put it in the video. So I'm going to give you the shortcut version, and then y'all go back and watch video next week. So basically, I was up for renewal October the 20th. And I got with the insurance company a week before and said, hey, go ahead and let's get started on this thing because the main GC I'm with, they don't play. They will shut you down. They will pull you off the job. They will take you off the schedule if your stuff ain't in. I've seen them do it to guys. So we started on it and it got to be Friday. Insurance expires Sunday night. And it did not get done. Now, mind you, I ended up doing something that I'll never do again, and I advise you don't do. My insurance expired on midnight of the which at midnight of the 20th, right? So that's Sunday night. My Sunday night at 12 o'clock, which is the 20th, my insurance expired. I had trucks out there on a Sunday night, y'all, scared to death, praying and asking God, man, please cover this thing until we can get this business straight in the morning. The Lord covered it. That Monday, I battled all day to get this insurance issue solved. Couldn't get it solved, waiting on a cheaper company. Guys, I ended up having to go with Progressive just to get coverage until I can find a cheaper I knew I wasn't staying with Progressive, but I ended up having to go with Progressive to get to until we were waiting on quotes. So that's why I tell you, start a month out. Don't start a week out like me. We waiting on cheaper quote. I had to end up going back with I ain't been with Progressive in 3 or 4 years. $500,000 of coverage, which is the minimum my company would take. I said, okay, I'm gonna just go with the five. I'm not gonna have it, but a week, at the most. Guys, for all 11 trucks, liability only $42,000 down. The total policy was $309,000 for that Progressive policy. Do y'all hear me? $42,000 I had to chunk out on that Monday to be covered, right? Just to be covered until we wait on these cheaper quotes. Okay. And I'm gonna explain all this in the video. I'm cutting across the field now. The next day, the girl from the company, my company I'm telling you about, emails me at 1 o'clock. Hey, I don't have your insurance. If you don't have it in for 3 o'clock, got to take you off the schedule for the night, Monday night. And this is not just a week past. This was the week before that, week of the 20th. Or should I say 3 weeks ago? Man, I'm tripping now because now this is finna call. I'm losing money. And so, man, we battled. They got her the certificate, but they didn't include them endorsements because the main guy wasn't in. They didn't get me straight to like that after hours that day. Guess what? Got took off the schedule. So I had all 11 trucks Ken Etheridge scheduled to work. I lost 11 times $700-800 because it's night work. All right. Put my glasses back on. All right. Tuesday comes. She couldn't put me on the schedule that morning. I lost that morning with about 3 trucks because I only had 3 during the day. I had all of them at night, but only 3 with the day with that particular company. I lost 3 trucks working that morning. I battled to 12 o'clock that Tuesday for the guy to get them to endorse, sending the endorsements over, but he didn't send the actual endorsement. He just put it on the certificate. That's why I tell you, they want some of these companies want the actual endorsement. I didn't get straight, y'all, to 12 or 1 o'clock that Tuesday. But watch this. Ken Etheridge. Then she tells me, okay, you're good. I got to send it to safety. It's got to go to corporate for approval. I'm like, oh God. So I lose the next night with all 11 trucks, another $7,000-8,000. Finally that Wednesday morning, I got an email showing I was back on the schedule, which let me know that everything had been taken care of. All in all, guys, I lost looked like between $12 and $15,000 because of that foolishness right there that happened to me. I can't blame nobody but myself. I waited too late thinking everything was going to be okay. What I'm saying to you guys is take it in your own hands. Work the agent. Do not totally depend on the agent to get it done. Work the agent. Call them. Email them. Let them know you're waiting. You put their feet to the fire on that thing. I didn't do that, and it cost me $12,000 to $15,000. All right. Now I know y'all wondering, well, did you stay with Progressive? No. Found some better insurance that was cheaper. Notice what I said. I didn't say cheap insurance. I just said, Jack, some better insurance that was cheaper. Ladies and gentlemen, I could shout right here. Progressive was $309,000. I found a company that was going to give me all of the coverages, all of the umbrellas, the endorsements, and everything I need for $145,000. That's where I shout at right there. Now, watch this. I canceled Progressive. They refunded me 34,000 out of the 42. All right. They refunded me 34 out of the 42. The down payment for the liability with the new company was 25. Right? So I got enough back to put the new down payment down and not cost me any extra money, and still had enough money to put back in my pocket. So notice, so it cost me 7,000 for that 1 week with Progressive. I got well, I guess you could say 8, and then I got 34 back, and then I had to put 25 down with the new company. I put 9 back in my pocket. I'm paying for the 11 trucks on liability, I'm paying $12,000 a month. Ken Etheridge, $145,000 policy, 25 down, $12,000 a month. I'm shouting. Somebody might say, well, man, that don't seem like, well, actually, when you look at it, if you divide the 145, I don't have my calculator, by 12, I'm paying basically 12,000 a month per truck, basically about 1,100 a truck for liability insurance, right? So I'm tickled to death. And y'all got to remember now too, my truck's a new truck. So I'm covering on the physical damage side, I'm covering 200, 250, on you got to cover the value of the truck. But just the liability was a blessing, man. Because I'm telling you, Progressive with 309,000, $28,000 a month, brother. Look at the difference, 28,000 a month as opposed to 12. That's a $16,000 difference. That go probably over half of my profit right there. Would have been going to Progressive, y'all. Oh my goodness. So definitely work the agent. Work the agent. Look for good insurance and let cheaper insurance be the second part. Yeah, we want cheaper, but make sure you're not sacrificing anything for the cheaper. Because what this proved to me through this whole process, there are companies out there that will write you and you can get that great deal that I was able to find. So when I hear guys saying, man, this insurance, shop it. There are companies out there that are cheaper, y'all. This is not an anomaly that happened to me. They are out there. As D. Williams just said about Erie, there are companies that are out there. So I'm encouraged by that. All right. That's my little spiel. I'm going to put more of that in a video. All right. Who else we got out here? All right. All right. PT said he uses mutual. All right. CEO, what's your opinion on the new truck warranty? Should I get molding and after treatment, basic vehicle warranty, or just molding and after treatment? Um, if you can cover the whole thing starting out, Justin, I would. Don't let a few extra dollars stop it. If you can cover the whole thing, go ahead, man. That's what I would do. Anyone in New York, what are y'all paying for insurance or workman's comp? Tyler Joshua asks that question. All right. Chris Carey's asking D. Williams a question. Erie is a great company. I've used them in the Okay, y'all got me. I'm gonna put Erie in my notes, man, to remember them. Are you back next week? I missed this, just sharing and trying to help. Yeah, I'm gonna be back, D. Williams. I should be back next week. I'm gonna put some videos out this week too, though. I use Liberty Mutual. Okay, Liberty Mutual, not Mutual. Okay. Is lease purchasing a good route to purchase your first truck using collateral such as a house to get in the game and pay a small fee at the end of the lease and own the truck? What do you think? What about the mileage? Is the mileage, Gordon, going to be an issue? Are they limiting the mileage? Do you plan to purchase the truck? Right? Because if you plan to purchase the truck, then the mileage won't matter. So those would be my question. First year with a CDL 2004 Mac 3,500 a month. Cornelius, I can believe that. For that first year, them first year or two, man, if I tell anybody, if you can get through that first year or two, you're gonna be fine. All right, Jack got a shot less than half progressive. I have my agent cell number when he doesn't answer. I email. There you go, D Williams. That's what I got. I got the agent's cell phone number and his regular number, man. Jeff Smith. So this was I used to be with a company called Timber Creek, but this new company is oh, I forgot. Let me tell y'all who the new company is. They're writing commercial now. It blew my mind. Can y'all believe that? That's who my liability through. They're writing commercial now. Appreciate you, B Beard. Council progressive so quick. Yeah. 2025 track. What's up, Jason Perry? Cool, man. Appreciate that, brother. See, or what ones are you putting on these new trucks? Of course they come with it. I mean, I don't really have to really. I can get extended if I want, Justin, but my business model, I don't have to, right? You come with the Western Stars, they come with a 3 year, they come with a 5 year engine, a 3 year transmission and rear ends, right? Well, I get rid of the trucks in 3 years. So I don't have to buy the extended, but the regular warranty is good enough. So that just with my business philosophy, that works for me. Now, if a person gonna keep a truck 5 years, get the extended. Ken said, "This just blessed me. Appreciate you, man." All right. Didn't expect that. Yeah, Jack said, "Didn't expect that." Yes, Jack, it blew my mind. I'm like, "What? Guy go watching the commercial now?" Looked at all the coverages. Everything's in order. I'm like, "Okay, that's awesome." Yes, sir. Jay Wigginson. Yes, sir. That's a good strategy. I just did it again with the gray Mac. I don't mind telling y'all this. Y'all been following me. I've been very transparent. Guys, I made 51,000 off the gray Mac. And that was a 19 that I bought. It wasn't even bought brand new. I bought the 19. Most of you've been on this channel. Jack Pete, you've been with me a while. You remember when I bought the gray Mac out of Laverne, Tennessee in 2022. February 22. The dealership bought it. It wasn't a private owner. The dealership bought it. The dealership gave me 51,000 for the 2019 Mac, a 6-year-old truck. And I owed, they gave me 125. I didn't owe but 73, 74, something like that. Yes, Jay Wigginson, buying trucks and selling them after 3 years. I think it's an awesome strategy. To each his own. I told you, like I say, some guy want to keep them 5 years, 6, 7 years. Just say you be able to pay for it, don't have no note. That ain't my philosophy. I'm buying them every 3 years, and I'm gonna sell them, and I'm gonna get that lump sum. Took that money, invested it in, took half of it rather, cleared out some debt. Took the other half, invested it in the stock market. Do you feel me on that? If you're feeling me on that, give me a 100 in the chat. That's just my philosophy, right? Take it for what it's worth, right? Give me a 100 in the chat, though, if you feeling that. Took 25, cleared out some debt. I got a daughter that's in college. I'm trying to pay off this car that I bought her, all this kind of stuff. Took the other 25, put it in the stock market. And if y'all been watching the stock market, Nvidia, SoFi, AMD, SMCI, GSAT, Apple, they've been cutting up. That's all I'm gonna say. So yes, Jay Wigginson, I'm glad you brought that up, man. Yes, brother, the strategy is awesome. I love it. A matter of fact, the 2022, I got a 22 Western Star. Matter of fact, that makes 3 years this year. I got two 23s that make 3 years in May. So actually, I'll have three trucks that'll fall into that category in May of next year that I have to decide, do I want to go ahead and pull the trigger again? I'm gonna do it on at least one of them. The one that's a 22, I'm gonna at least do it on that one. I already know that. So by February, March, I'm gonna probably go ahead and start talking to the guy. Hey, I'm gonna trade this one in. I want to pull the collateral out, and I'm gonna get another new one. And I know I should clear what I know. If I can get me 50 to 75 brothers, I'm happy. I'm happy. Yeah, Jack. Yes, Golden Silver been going nuts too. You sure right. D. Williams said that's $1 million game. Yes, sir, brother. That's $1 million game. Would you lease a truck if you have 82 per hour, 10 pre-day contract doing milling and road work? 82 per hour, 10 pre-day contracts. So 10 pre, so is it just for 10 days? P lawyer, is that what you're saying? So what I would do is you got to do the numbers, right? What is it going to cost you to lease the truck and break it down by the day and look at what it's going to cost you a day to rent that truck, the cost and the diesel and the driver based on the 82 per hour at, and how many hours you're going to make a day. That's what I would look at. Ken Etheridge, let me see, I got 11 trucks, eight of them are Western Stars now. 8 are Western Stars, 2 Max, and 1 the Volvo. 10 hours per day. You be driving. How many days? All right, so 82 hour, 10 hours a day. And then how long does the contract last? And then you factor in, are they charging you by the week for the lease or by the month? What's the cost of the truck a month to lease? And then how much are you going to cost? Your cost in fuel is going to cost. Milling is not real, burning a whole lot of fuel. Yeah. All right, Gordon. So yeah, that could be a good way to come in, Gordon. That could be a good way to come into it. HP Loyal, 45 days or 45 months must be, right? Please tell me 45 months. All right, guys, I got to get ready to land this plane. Man, this has been rich this morning. I got to get y'all some content out this week. We're gonna deal with this insurance thing a little more and tell you some other little things I experienced. You got the gist of it, but I'm gonna break down some other things. But that whole ordeal, Jack Peak, basically put money back in my pocket. When you look at 12,000 a month as opposed to 28,000, man, that whole 16 piece, that was over half of my profit, man. If not, at least I would say, at least half. That have been going to insurance, man. That would have been sick. That would have been sick. What's up, Go Map? I got you, brother. Yes, sir. Oh, okay. So HP, it would be, it's gonna be ongoing work then, as I understand it. So do like Gordon, do like what Gordon is asking me. Check out the details of the lease. Is it certain mile? Are you restricted by miles? What's going who handles the maintenance? You or them? Because I know some leases they handle the maintenance. Do you plan to buy it after you've had it when the lease is up? Those kinds of things. Yeah, yeah, Jack, you sure for sure, man. Look, boy, it took me a couple days to get over. 'Cause I hate to leave money on the table. It took me a couple days to get over that, man, losing that money like that. Appreciate you, Jeff man. Yes, sir. Okay, good. All right, guys, I'm gonna have to get off here. See, can we get a little work in today with my guys? I definitely wanted to get the live in because I miss you guys too. Look like things are selling out. But look, that's what had me jammed up for them 2 weeks, man. From Ken, from because I started stressing about it. Definitely the week of it, I was stressing about it from the 20th to the 24th of October. I started talking about it the week of the 13th. So from the 13th all the way, I would say, to the to the end of October, my nerves were shot, y'all, dealing with insurance. Then watch this. And then 8 of the 11 trucks physical damage renewed on the 3rd of November, right? Guess what? Went back with the same guy. I'm gonna put this in a video too. Went back with the same guy, gave me an excellent deal, cheaper than I would have got it, than what I had. So, all right. So, but we'll talk about that on tomorrow. I mean, in a video this week. All right. It's a big plus CEO. You specialize in road when you sell after 3 years bad in the mind. Yeah, exactly. The only thing out of sight gives me sometimes a little the normal mileage is the fact that we work a lot of nights too. That the trucks are doing a lot of double dipping. And I'm in a season now where I'm working 10 and 11, the same thing. I'm working all of. Y'all remember one time I was happy just to get half of them out at night. I'm literally working almost all of them, 10 and 11 at night right now on this job on Interstate 10 here in Baton Rouge. And this job supposed to be for 4 months. And we've only been on it about two. The weather's probably going to knock us off sometime in next month. So we'll start off after the first of the year. We'll probably still be trying to finish this up $20 million job. So that's the only thing kind of makes my mileage be normal. Out of sight is the fact that I roll them day and night, right? Um, Somebody may have been wondering what was the mileage on the gray truck when I traded it. I bought it; it had 70,000. When I sold it, when I traded to the dealership, I think it had 310. So I put about 250,000 miles on it in 3 years. You do the math of that, that's like about 80,000. I guess you could say 70, 80,000. But like I say, rolling them up the miles, you know what you're doing is not hard work, it's road work. The truck ain't been ragged out, you're not off road and dirt pits and things like that, like talking about, because I do road work, right? So you talking about a truck I ain't had to change bushings. Whoever buys it not gonna have to worry about a bushing job. They got brakes, all new brakes and drums and all the way around. Tires are in good shape. A person can literally get that truck and go to work, right? So the dealership saw the value in what they were getting, because at that 3 year mark out of sight, the truck is not beaten up because of the nature of what I'm doing and the length of time in which I'm doing it, right? That 3 year window, it works, guys. It works. So here's the key to that. And I'll say this, because this is the problem with a lot of the guys that I encounter locally. You can't be scared of notes, brothers. You can't be scared of notes. That most guys, these lot of guys, they are intimidated by the 4,000, 4,500, $5,000 notes. You have to, if you're gonna make it and do this particular strategy, you have to be comfortable with having that kind of overhead. And how do you become comfortable with having that kind of overhead? Number one, you got to have some faith from on high. That's number one. Number two, you got to have to work. Know that you got to know that you got steady work. I'm not just out here winging it, hustling. I know I got to work, right? So I don't want to make it look like I'm just out here and don't have a place for these trucks to work and winging it like that, or I'm hustling. Like when I first started, I had 3 trucks. I was hustling. I didn't have a contractor that I could call my own. Now I got 4 or 5 contractors that I could call my own. So the way that you can do that and not be so intimidated by that is, you got customers that got work that's gonna work you. All right, I'm gonna say that again. You got customers that's got work. Number one, that's gonna work you. Number two, right? That's the key. And so all of my contractors got work, and I know they gonna work me. And so that helps me. That and faith, number one, but also the human part of knowing that I'm making a good decision. I'm seeking wise counsel. I'm looking at this thing how it needs to be looked at from the human perspective, goes together. The faith supersedes it. I sleep good at night. It doesn't bother me. All right. That is the key, brothers. All right. It's a company up there, run their trucks to get to they get 304,000, then sell them for 150,000. I say no more, D. Williams. There you go. They do it by mileage, right? They put 300 or 400 on them, and then they say, okay, it's time to ship them out. Now, don't road truck companies do the same thing? They do the same thing. They run them up to 500 and 600,000, and then they say, okay, we finna ship these out. Why? Because they wanna here's the nugget. I'm gonna leave y'all with this one final nugget. Getting rid of it, brothers, at that point. Watch this, Jack. Eliminates any major maintenance issues. Talk Jones. Give me a 100 if that's game for you right there. When you do it then at the 3.5, I even say some people you could stretch it to 4. You eliminate, you have gotten the best time out of it without having spend a whole bunch of money in maintenance. Watch this. Let me give y'all some game. Let me give y'all some game. Y'all done mess me up now. Let me give you some game. Let's say some guy says, oh, I don't want to pay no $4,000, $5,000. No. Ken Etheridge, watch this. And you decide to say, okay, I'd rather pay a 2,000, right? It's a 7-year, 8-year-old truck. But what if you having months where you got $2,000 worth of maintenance that's taking place? Because this maintenance is high. These breakdowns are high. These shops want 150, 200,000 an hour. So it ain't nothing for you to go to a shop and end up with a $1,500, $1,600 bill. So if you got a truck that you're paying maintenance on and breakdowns and got issues with, and you every month you're having to do things, and your maintenance is running you 2,000 a month, and your note is running you 2,000 a month. Ladies and gentlemen, 2,000 plus 2,000, last time I checked, is 4,000. Talk Jones, right? So pick your poison. The problem with I've tried it that way, right? I tried it that way. Oh man, I got guys. Man, these guys ain't trucks paid for. Got cheaper truck notes. Here I am over here with these expensive trucks, paying notes, and they look like they working. Tried that mess. Tried that mess. Ken Etheridge almost lost my behind going by that way, losing with cheaper trucks. I had to work my way back to getting new trucks because yeah, I'm gonna pay the note. But guess what? I ain't got no major issues. And if something go wrong, guess what? Call that shop. Hey, I got to bring it in, got such and such going on. They got to fix it. Ain't gonna cost me nothing. Right? Watch this now. Watch this. Yeah, I'm preaching now, D Williams. Watch this. The other way, when I got the 2000 and maintenance in the 2000, guess what? My truck is down. I'm losing in downtime too, right? I can go make the money back to fix the truck, but I can't make the time up of the days that I lost because you can't make time up, right? That's the difference right there. Whereas I can send mine to the shop, it's a new truck, right? It ain't gonna cost me nothing. All I lost is the day. But when you got to pay the money, you got to pay the money and you lost today. Oh my God, I hope y'all get this. Let me go. All right. So look for videos this week. Love you guys. Be blessed. Share this video. See you next time. Who is that?